Hi, I'm Drex, and this is Introduction to Poi. Today we're going to talk about two basic categories into which nearly all poi tricks fall. They're called flat plane moves and plane bending moves. Flat plane moves are defined by having moves in which the plane of the poi stays rigid in relation to the body, never changing either in front, behind, or perhaps to the side of the performer. In plane bending moves, the poi shifts from a plane on one side of the body versus another, or between two different planes that perhaps are not parallel at all. Now, these two types of moves can frequently be combined together, but make a good starting point in thinking about the differences between different poi tricks. Here's how you can begin to practice both techniques, starting with the flat plane moves. This is called static spin, and it consists of just having your hand stay as still as possible while the poi traces a circle around it. You can do this in wall plane like this, in clockwise, as well as counterclockwise directions, making sure that you do it with both hands to keep your body even. You'll also want to try this out in wheel plane, going both forwards and reverse. Next, you're going to want to play around with extensions. Extensions are like static spin, but blown up to epic proportions. They start at the shoulder and go all the way down to the poi head, creating one large line in a gigantic circle nearly as tall as your body. When performing these, again, you'll want to go in wall plane, both clockwise, as well as counterclockwise, and in wheel plane, both forwards as well as in reverse. Again, with both hands. One thing to watch out for with extensions, you never want to get in a place where your hand is able to get behind your shoulder, because this can cause injuries. To avoid doing this, especially in wheel plane with your extensions, you want to make sure that you're turning your upper body slightly as your hand is reaching back. This ensures that the hand can always be in front of your shoulder rather than behind, and thus avoid those injuries. We're going to begin playing with plane bending with an exercise that I like to call a tic-tac, although some people like calling it a two-beat, and it involves just shifting the poi back and forth across your body, like so. Here's how we can begin to learn this. Number one, you're going to get the poi turning on your native side, such that it is coming up when it's going past your shoulders, and down when it is at the point that is furthest away from you. You're going to stop the poi from moving as it gets to the bottom of its arc, move it over to your non-native side, and again, start rotating it forwards. So it's coming up past your shoulder and down when it's at the point that is furthest away from you. You're going to stop, go to native, stop, go to non-native, stop, go to native, stop, go to non-native. Eventually, you're going to try and work it up to the point where you can just switch automatically back and forth between these two. And what you'll notice is that that point, when the poi is furthest away from you, becomes the point at which you switch which side of your body the poi happens to be rotating on. We would refer to this point as a cross point, and it occurs something like an X if you look straight down your body. We can also perform this move going reverse, starting off on the non-native side once again by going up when the poi is furthest away from us and down as it's passing by our shoulder. Again, we stop the poi and move it over to non-native side and begin rotating it reverse, so it's coming down past the shoulder and up at that point where it's furthest away from us. Stop, bring it to native, stop, bring it to non-native, stop, bring it to native, stop, bring it to non-native, and eventually see if you can just sweep straight back and forth between the two. Just like with the forwards version of this, our cross point, that is the point where we're shifting which plane that we're rotating in, is at the point where the poi is furthest away from us. If you're comfortable with your tic-tacs, here's an exercise that will help you develop this skill at many different points around your body. We're going to start off just with our normal tic-tac on the side of our body, with your hand slightly in front of you. You may find that your hand is having to put a lot of effort in when you're just starting off. This will go away with time as you get more comfortable with the move, and this exercise will help. Next, try extending your hand out as far away from your body as you possibly can, so that your elbow is not bent and that your hand is about at shoulder height, again trying to maintain a constant tic-tac back and forth. Next, you're going to want to bend your elbow. Your elbow is still at shoulder height and your hand is now high. This might be a little bit of a challenge at first, but eventually it'll feel natural. Finally, you're going to want to draw your hand to your chest, being able to maintain that tic-tac while keeping the poi in contact with your body. At first, you'll probably have to keep your hand a few inches away from your chest, but as time goes on and you get more comfortable with the exercise, you'll eventually be able to touch your hand directly to your chest and control this movement from your body core rather than from your hands. Make sure that you try these exercises in both directions with both hands. You can think of both flat plane moves as well as plane bending moves as being something like flour and water in recipes, very basic ingredients that are used in nearly anything that you might want to cook. Keep on practicing these and it'll help out your poi spinning many years down the road. Thank you for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace.